are here at WordCamp Europe, and I have Robby from Beaver Builder here. Hello, Robby. It's my pleasure to meet you here at WordCamp Europe in Berlin, and to know your story, Beaver Builder story, and to ask you some questions. For example, how you guys did 1 million websites running with Beaver Builder right now?
Yeah, thanks. It's a pleasure to be here. The million website milestone was a big one. We passed it pretty recently. Like it was either end of last year, beginning of this year. But yeah, that was a really exciting one. Like I don't know, like it was a slow kind of snowball effect that took a long time. We've been going for about 5 years. But yeah, it was a major milestone for us. So. It didn't happen overnight though.
Right, but Beaver Builder is 5 years old right now.
Yeah, we launched in April 2014. So, what is it?
Can you remember how it all started?
Yeah. So myself and my two business partners had a web design agency called Fastline Media, and we were doing a website for a client, and they wanted us to use a page builder, and we were kind of like hesitant to the idea. We kind of have that like classic developer mindset of like, why would we want to use a tool like that? Like we can do it ourselves, and those things are junk. And but we did it, and we kind of saw the benefit of using that workflow and being able to create a site that our client could then like jump in and make changes to himself.
So it wasn't like designed as business initially, but the product for yourself?
Yeah, it was a project that came through, and then we decided like we liked that workflow or that style of using a page builder, and wanted to keep doing it, but we couldn't find anything that like a page builder tool that we liked. So
but how it turned into business then?
So yeah, we started working on we'll build our own.
Yeah.
And we started working on it, and the original plan was just to use it internally. But then eventually we kind of realized like maybe we have something here that we could sell and offer up as a product. And so we made the decision to kind of productize it. We kind of had to tie off some loose ends. Like if you're ever working on an internal project, you can get away with kind of being sort of sloppy or, not making everything polished. But we polished up some of the rough edges and released it.
Did you target any specific customer segment when you were thinking about your product, or it came up later?
I'd say that came up later.
Oh.
I think we recognized that like both folks like ourselves, developers, freelancers, people that were building lots of websites could benefit from using a page builder. But then we also saw the benefit of having it available for people that like didn't know how to code or that weren't particularly tech savvy.
Yeah. This pricing model that you have, so you sell the product for 1 year and support and updates for unlimited number of websites, right?
Yeah.
So this kind of model that you have, was it from the start? How did you decide to make this pricing model?
It was an evolution. So we started out it's funny, like when we first got started, we were like trying to figure out what price we should use.
Yeah, right. It's always a tricky question.
Yeah, and we were like, well, most plugins and themes cost like $49, so
yeah.
We should just choose $49.
Right.
And then we eventually, kind of as we continued developing the product and we started adding more features in, and we added a theme into the package, so like we raised our prices at one point, and then we set up the kind of current package structure that we have now, where there's the $99, the $199, and like $399 package.
Mm-hmm. But when the license is over, can user continue using the plugin?
Yeah, sure. Like there's no kill switch or anything that would like prevent you from being able to use or access a site that was built. That would have been that would have felt very, very like slimy, and from the we try and be wholesome and try and set our business up in a way with like.
So actually, the user can buy 1 year of service and then continue using the product. So
yeah.
Basically what you are selling is support and updates?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, I think like it's funny, like I heard that phrased once in a question, like it was to a group of plugin developers, and someone asked like, so what like is your business, and the instinct is to say like, oh, we're a software business, but in actuality we're a support business. Support is like the core of what we can offer.
And how far this support can go? I mean, what would you do for your clients if they ask?
You say that.
A cup of coffee?
Yeah, sure. I mean, so I've sent out stickers to our customers before. Okay, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna get like flooded with requests for stickers. But yeah, so like a customer wrote in and they saw a picture of one of our stickers and they really wanted some. So I like was very old. Like I got an envelope and wrote their address down. Like went down to the post office and mailed them some stickers. It's probably not like a very scalable solution, but we try to offer the best support we can. There's a certain kind of like line that we don't cross when it comes to like once it starts getting into the territory of it like being someone else's plugin. Like if a user is having an issue and we can identify that it's not related to our code base, like usually just identifying that and sending them they're like you're like getting them as far along as we can and then giving them advice on how to actually fix their issue is good enough. But yeah, we try and do as much as we can, especially if it's either an issue or a question relating to our code.
But do they appreciate this? I mean, can you remember any numbers of renewals, for example?
Yeah, our renewal rate is actually to my understanding, like it's not a number you can find easily for a lot of different companies, but for the longest time it was always in like the 40-50% rate in terms of like customers returning, which I believe was rather high.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have automatic renewal?
We did. So we didn't start originally. Our subscriptions were set up so that they were only renewed manually. But we changed that about 2.5 years ago so that they by default are automatic, and that bumped our.
So this number is for automatic renewal, or
that's actually before automatic renewal. So the number is higher now. I actually don't know what it is exactly off the top of my head. I probably should know that number, but it did jump significantly for customers that got on when we started doing automatic renewals.
Nice. And what channels of acquisition do you usually use? Because I've checked the blog traffic, and you have a lot of the most, like 80% of your traffic it's direct traffic, referral traffic, or just Beaver Builder requests in Google. So people are looking specifically for Beaver Builder and nothing else.
Yeah, like word of mouth traffic has always been, or word of mouth referrals have always been huge for us. We have an affiliate program, which has been a good user acquisition source. We do advertising on Facebook and Google. We've kind of dabbled with content marketing and trying to produce content with the goal of bringing in new potential leads or potential customers.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like kind of slimy calling it influencer marketing, like that feels very buzzwordy.
Yeah.
But we have kind of made an effort to go out and just make friends in the WordPress community. And I know there's people out there that, and thank you to anyone that's done this, that's like referred people to Beaver Builder. Maybe like they've never used a page builder before, but they've met one of us at a WordCamp or an event, and we've gone out and they can, like I've heard someone say like, yeah, I recommended Beaver Builder because, I like you guys and you guys seem like good people. I know you make good software because all of our friends use Beaver Builder, so we recommend it too.
Nice. And do you travel a lot? Do you attend WordCamps a lot? Do you sponsor a lot?
Yeah, I like doing WordCamps a lot. It's one of my favorite ways to kind of participate in the WordPress community, and then sponsorships are one of our most effective ways for us to be able to give back.
But it's about giving back, not about like acquisition channel or something. Do you measure return on investment in that?
I mean, I think it can be both. We do sometimes we'll just do the lowest level sponsorship so that we can go and put stickers out on the table and not feel.
I suppose on local WordCamps, right?
Yeah. So I mean, there's definitely I think I'd be lying if I said it was solely for giving back. There was a really good talk at WordCamp US a few years back about how basically just how it's okay to try to contribute back to the WordPress community or the WordPress project, but also recognizing that there was benefit to doing that either financially or for one's business, like contributing to WordPress so that you can get your name out there or get promotion for your business or your company or whatever it might be. There's a balance to it and kind of an art to doing it, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, right. So here at WordCamp Europe, how many of your team is present?
Uh, we just had two people. So myself and my business partner came out for this one. My business partner brought his wife out. They did a little traveling around Europe before the camp. So
Yeah, that's a nice opportunity, attending the WordCamp and do some traveling. That's all what we do, right?
yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. I consider like all of the spouses and family members of everyone on our team kind of like honorary members of the team too. You know, like I think. Like if you look at like the about page of any company, right, you see all the employees and the founders and this and that. But like there's this whole network of support that everyone has that enables them, like particularly like an entrepreneurial space. Like that enable the kind of lifestyle that it requires to run your own business or
Absolutely, it's always about family, about friends and people around you. Yeah, but the team itself, initial team, how many people do you have there?
yeah, so like the actual number of the adopters. We're 16 people, including myself and my two partners. So the co-founders and everyone adds up to 16.
Right. So what was the first role that you hired? Who needed at the first place?
Yeah, the first like role that we filled was a support role. So when it was just three of us working on Beaver Builder, we used to share an office, and our support system was just like an email address. So and it worked really well at the time because like an email would come through with a question or support ticket, the kind of style question, and one of us would just like raise our hand and be like, oh, I got this one, or like I got that one, or like, you know. But we pretty quickly outgrew that system. And yeah, brought on a support person maybe like a year and a half into starting Beaver Builder, I think. Somewhere in that, yeah.
And now, whom do you have in your team?
We've got, I think the largest number, like in terms of like a department, would be the support team. We've got several folks doing support. We've got a handful of developers. We've got, we actually recently just hired a marketing director, so his sole focus is
And
marketing.
who was responsible for marketing before that?
That was me.
Okay.
That would be me, for better or for worse.
But still 1 million websites.
Okay, well, yeah, thank you. I'll take that, yeah.
Yeah, right. So you did, we're in beautiful place on the rooftop. There are all
The birds just started
birds.
attacking.
Yeah. So, your team members, where are they from?
We're distributed. We're 100% distributed, and throughout the world, we have a couple guys in the Philippines, and we have a few people in the States. Just one gentleman in Canada, and a couple of guys in the UK.
Do you provide multilingual support, or it's only in English?
Support we only offer in English.
Because I think that plugin and theme translated to 16 languages.
Yeah.
One which is Ukraine, which is very pleasant to me to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Like I do know a few like cases where people have written in to our, like, submitted a support ticket in a non-English language, and we've like done our best to like with Google Translate to try and answer. Google Translate's like both like a blessing and a curse, right? Because it works, but it's just it's so wrong sometimes. It's almost comical.
Yeah, but better than nothing, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Have you considered the option of translating the website itself to other languages to make it available to other markets?
Yeah, it's come up in discussion. It's something I'd like to do someday. I mean, I guess it's one of those, like, when you're looking at your business as a whole and thinking about like what's the best way to move the lever, right? Like what's the highest leverage thing that I can do on any given day to grow my business. That like particular exercise kind of fell to the back burner. Like, I think there's probably lots of other things we could do that would be more effective. I mean, mainly, I guess we're spoiled too, like coming from the U.S. and being English speaking. Like English is kind of the universal language of technology and development of the web. So, again, like this, I don't know, this like, if I had unlimited resources, I would love to do that. Or actually,
but you never have them.
Yeah.
So we have to make some decisions, right?
Exactly.
So what decisions were the toughest one?
Oh man, that's a tough question. Let's see. Okay, toughest decisions. Well, there was a point where, I mean, I'm thinking like back into like the early days. There was a point when partners and I were all sharing an office, and they decided to move out of the area, and we took our company from like all being in one place at one time to being distributed. I remember that was a tough decision to make. I remember also back in like the very early days, we didn't really have a good understanding of like the GPL license and what that kind of meant. So we didn't launch with an explicit GPL license. I think like in hindsight, just by nature of being a WordPress plugin, like we probably were GPL. Had it like ever gone into court or something like that, like it wouldn't have mattered. But yeah, like the decision to actually like publicly announce and support and adopt a GPL license was a big decision.
But if you would have to start now, is there something that you would change, that you would make different?
Okay, yeah. So we were talking like about automatic renewals. We should have done that from the beginning. So I guess the things I might want to change like would potentially conflict with views of the other people on my team. But like another thing that we didn't really put a lot of thought into. That was a decision we made really early on, was our renewal discount. So when you renew Beaver Builder, you get a 40% discount, which seemed kind of like standard to us at the time. A lot of companies did that.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, I mean, I think we kind of looked at that as like a marketing tactic. You know, like if we offer this really large discount, maybe we'll get more people to renew. But I guess I wonder, and I haven't been able to prove this, but in terms of like actual revenue, I think it might have been more effective to have not offered such a large discount. Like, you know, one of the things I don't think we appreciated back in the early days was that unlike a lot of WordPress plugins where maybe you buy it and set it up once, most people that use a page builder in their daily workflow are actually using it every day. Yeah, and they're building, you know, if you're working on client sites, things that are mission critical or critical to your business.
So they will need support on a daily basis.
Exactly, or not, maybe not support on day, but just the value continues to prove itself over time. As you keep using it. Like if you just buy a plugin that maybe like a form plugin that you set up once and then you just kind of set it and forget it, that renewal notification comes around and you're like, oh well, yeah, it's there, I kind of forgot it was there, do we really need this or not? But if you're building all of your client sites with a page builder.
But also it gives you an opportunity to build a community around your plugin, right? Because people will use it on a daily basis and not just like you said, set up and forget about these, right? Yeah, we've been, and that's also a reason I think that we've got like a very vibrant and passionate user community. I think like part of that. You also swag on your website, so with Beaver Builder logotype, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
How the idea where it came from?
So we would make T-shirts before we would go to WordCamp. We would just do like custom Beaver Builder T-shirts. It's funny, like I remember trying to make T-shirts. It's surprisingly difficult to make a tasteful looking shirt. I mean, maybe this is just because I'm not a designer at all, or I always consider myself like a brute force designer. Like I'll keep trying and iterating and trying something until like I see something that looks good and like, okay, that's it. Like I got it. I got something I like. Yeah, we'd wear shirts around and people would always ask like, oh, where can I get one? You know, if you, like our logo, we have a mascot, the beaver caricature, and like he's just like the cutest thing you've ever seen. He's very like, he just stands out too. He's very eye catching, and so people see it. Like, what is this? Like, where can I get this? I want one. And then so eventually we hired a designer who has made some like amazing swag designs. Like the difference between him and our like original designs is just like night and day.
Okay, but it became really popular, right?
Yeah. On all honesty, like we don't sell like a ton of swag. We do like the occasional order here and there, but it's not like swag and T-shirt sales or like making or breaking the business. But I think the people that do order them really appreciate having the ability or option to.
Yeah, right.
I know we sure appreciate when people order our swag and wear it around. Like, that's awesome.
Nice. That's nice. And I'm thinking now with Gutenberg, it's an obvious question, of course, but what are your plans? Because obviously Gutenberg is substituting page builders. Yeah,
they are they're moving in that direction. for us, when Gutenberg was first announced, it was a lot more concerning, or there was kind of that like.
To this at all, or it was kind of big news.
Yeah, no, it was big news. I remember pretty vividly. It was at WordCamp US. I guess it was maybe 3 years now that the project was announced, the Gutenberg project, and I didn't see it coming. No, I don't think many people did in the WordPress community. I think, and at that point in time, there was a lot more, like all we had was speculation on what Gutenberg was going to be. And as it developed, and we, to their credit, like the core team has a big role and a hard job, and that they're building for so many sites, and they have to kind of build for, the full spectrum of WordPress users from beginner to expert. Yeah. I think that Gutenberg is going to continue to evolve and continue to make it easier to build layouts. My hope, of course, is that there's still going to be a niche for page builders, and that we're also going to be able to continue to kind of push the envelope and stay a few beats ahead. And so far, that's been the case. Actually, interestingly too, like during the last few years, all of the discussions around Gutenberg, like it was almost a bit of a PR win for us, because whenever people started talking about Gutenberg, they would also talk about page builders and Beaver Builder. It came up in a lot of conversations, and it almost like legitimized page builders in the WordPress space. I think a lot of developers, a lot of people didn't really take them seriously.
Yeah.
But they're.
But do you target the same customer segment as Gutenberg?
Right now, I would say no. Like one of the things we kind of shifted gears a little bit when Gutenberg was announced to focus more on professional users or power users, people that were a little bit more web savvy, as opposed to like maybe a do-it-yourselfer, someone who just needs a website but isn't particularly interested in learning how to build websites. And I don't know a lot of people in that space that are using Gutenberg yet. I think there's been some interesting kind of third-party add-ons for Gutenberg, something like CoBlocks or some of the layout-specific plugins that are kind of taking Gutenberg into that layout space, but it hasn't matured yet. So I think for the most part, page builders are still winning for that particular, building lots of websites or building high-fidelity landing pages and things of that nature.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for accepting the invitation and share with us all these interesting things about Beaver Builder. It's my honor to have you here.
My pleasure. Thank you.